do this. So if you're racing at the track, this is like, you know, basic 101. So the mods are just going to be starting with the Blackwing stuff.
Yep. Turned out good. So
turned out fantastic. Finally, got some hours, and then you and Fuzz got hours.
Yeah.
So I believe this is the first Blackwing that has any type of cooling module, and I could be wrong, but we're gonna start selling them on our website like tomorrow. I'm gonna explain actually what we did, how we did it, why we did it. For starters, when you buy these cars, you cannot tune them. So this one's actually has a ported blower on it, went 1090 without tuning it.
We are going to try to put a ported blower on this brand new CT5 Blackwing. They're the LT4 10-speed platform, but unfortunately you can't tune them, so there's not much you can do. This customer is a super good customer. He's got a couple cars here, and he said we can try something if we want to, so we're going to try something. And that's porting the blower, not his original blower, because we don't want to touch that if nothing's going to work. So we have a spare LT4 blower that we're going to give a shot on it, see if it picks up, if the car is okay with it.
Yeah, because I heard this kind of self-adjusts.
Yeah, I mean any car will self-adjust a little bit. This is going to be slightly more than a little bit, I think, but hopefully it doesn't freak out and it works and picks up some horsepower, and he'd get away with it. And the fastest Blackwing, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Are we doing a pulley along with it?
I believe we're going to try the stock pulley. Okay. I have to talk to Alec about that. I know I have a couple stock ones. Like I said, I don't want to touch anything on his. We'll see what it does. Guy's perfectly fine with being a test mule. He wants to try it. He wanted to tune it. We tried to see if we could, but this new stuff you just can't. They're just locked down. For now, this is all we're going to be able to try, I think. So we'll have a little update in a little while, I think. See if it works.
It'd be cool if you could just put a ported blower on this without anything else and pick up like 40 wheel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a little stretch, but I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing 25.
Yeah.
So maybe 598. I just pulled up the old graph. Maybe 598. And if it makes around 620, I mean,
yeah,
that'd be cool.
Holy shit.
Damn. I was right.
Fucking 40 horsepower. Damn.
Dude.
I was like kidding when I said 40 wheel.
I guess there must have been a problem with torque before.
Yeah, it was. It was right before we switched the cable.
That's right. So yeah, disregard torque. Obviously, this is not correct, but damn.
I kind of got pulling a little harder too on that. Because it's like still, actually I didn't pull as hard as the first run.
And it starts to go up higher, actually.
Yeah.
Dude, let's do another one.
Yeah.
Is this
Dude, it's like 12 to air fuel. That's like money.
Yeah, the air fuel looks right on.
He's gonna be happy.
Yeah.
I mean, I told him like 620, but shit. I was a little cold. I mean, cold. But the other 598 was cold. This was cold.
Yeah, we need to bring this to the track when we go too. Maybe the fastest Blackwing out there.
That would be sick. I should ask him to come.
We should do that.
He ran it already, actually, and it went 11:30. 11:30 seems awfully fast for a stock.
Sure does.
I don't know. I could be wrong. Who knows, man?
Dude, we need to bring this.
Yeah, I think he will.
Air fuel looks perfect, dude.
It's even better. Now it's 12.
So the reference line, that dotted line, is at 12.5.
I can't believe this thing just picked up 60 wheel. What the fuck?
657, 601 torque. Holy shit. Let's go 10s, come on.
but these things are actually really designed for a road course. And you know, we do a lot of drag racing stuff, obviously, but cooling in anything is great, especially when you're going around the track multiple times. So we wanted to make something that did not require a tune and helped be consistent going around the track, straight or circle. We have a heat exchanger that's almost double the size of a stock one, and we have a little expansion tank. It's a little over 2 gallons. So, but we kind of designed this idiot-proof. It has a drain valve down there. So this is the first one. We're gonna have a little bit of different of a design on that, you know, just different hose routing. But anyways, so when you drain it, a lot of these companies out there don't make the parts idiot-proof, I should say. So when you drain it, it literally, the valve is open right now, if you can see it.
Yeah.
So when the valve is open and you still got coolant in here, and it's still pumping, right? It's pumping still. I'll just squirt it a little bit. So it's still pumping. If you accidentally somehow leave the drain valve open, it won't run this thing dry and get 200 degrees on the intake air temp, or manifold air temp. So
Right.
that's what's really nice, you know. So you could also put ice in this if you're at the road course or the drag strip. You know, this was not an easy task at all to do. So
Install is
install-
definitely expert level.
Yeah, it you don't have to really cut really much of anything besides the bumper support. You gotta trim it a little bit,
Yeah.
but the bumper itself taking on and off these cars is not like a typical cts-v, like a 3rd gen or 2nd gen. I mean, it is complicated. There's a lot that goes into these things. Sensors need to be recalibrated when you put the bumper back on. So it's not just taking the bumper off and putting them back on anymore. Unfortunately, you know, all this new car stuff's coming out, and
it sucks.
it's getting pretty smart. So,
But we can still do it.
yeah, we can still do it. And I just took it out on the road, and it's almost unbelievable how cold this thing stays. I can't believe it. Like, you can put your hand in there and it's not even like warm.
You know what? If you don't believe me,
I mean, I just took this thing out in, you know, Curtis Bay and acted like it was a rally car. So
yeah.
it's just really, I mean, it's great, really. So we're gonna put it on the dyno, see what it does. I gotta pull up the old graph. I mean, it's 660 or something before, so it might not make any more, I don't know. But it's gonna be more consistent when you're going around the road course, which is, you know, you don't want, you know, in a factory tune, it's gonna pull power out if the intake air temps get too hot, or it's gonna be better all around for you know, being consistent.
Yeah, it turned out sick.
No tune.
I was definitely like,
That was a good job on your end, honestly.
I was worried going into this, but it turned out sick.
And another thing is, like, we tried to get the biggest filler neck we could in here without, we're not gonna, you know, hack this all up. It's gonna be a little challenging to get ice in here. I think we're gonna come up with a funnel to do it if someone did want to put ice in it. But honestly, from what I've seen so far, it really doesn't need it.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're trying to, you know, really get after it.
Yeah.
Another thing is, if you modify these and you pull the blower off and put them back on, you know, these hoses need to come off. So like if you have something that's factory and you don't do any of this, it's really, like, GM really took it to the next level of bleeding cyst coolant systems. Like, if anyone knows about the 6th gen ZL1 or any LT4 before this platform, they are a nightmare to they're a nightmare to bleed the coolant system. Well, in these, what we figured out when we first poured the blower was it throws it in limp mode if the coolant is not bled. So it will realize the pump won't have no coolant going through it, and it'll throw it in limp mode. And it's really hard to get them bled, like extremely hard. So you really don't have to bleed it. With that being said, to make sure it's pumping, you can put your hand on the pump down right here. You gotta watch your hand against the belt or fan, but when you first fire these cars up, they don't even kick on the pump until a certain temperature. I'm not sure what the temperature is, to be honest with you. You can't tune them to kick on immediately, and you can't even command it to kick on. So you have to put your hand on the pump and make sure it's coming out, you know, through the valve. When you built this tank, you put a tube in here because you got the feed and return on both the same side. I'm sure you got a picture of it. Well, the return side has a tube going through the tank, so it's just not dumping and recirculate the same water, in theory. So it's hard to see if the pump's actually working. It doesn't gush like the 6th gen ones. Like you can't see it like rolling through.
Right.
Unless you drain that valve all, and then you can start seeing it. But if you sneak in there and look at it, you can see the pipe. It actually goes to the other side of the tank, which is also a really good sign. So this is a really well thought out process we did, and that you came up with, really, you know.
Yeah.
So, and it's perfect, you know.
Yeah.
When we do stuff, we want to test it. We make sure it's perfect. We think of everything that someone can f up, pretty much,
Right.
and try not to have that happen. So the drain is a good example of that. So
Yeah, that's gonna need. We're gonna work with that some. So
Yeah.
It's still early on.
yeah.
But
But I'm
still,
talking about like draining it and still having to
Oh,
be able
yeah,
to
oh,
pump.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we put
yeah.
the fittings up and the drain lower, so you can't do that.
Yeah,
So
that-
these will be on our website. You can order them, put them on yourself. We have everything set up to make them in-house. Everything's done in-house besides the powder coat. So yeah, so the mods are just going to be starting with the Blackwing stuff.
Yep. Turned out good. So
Yeah, turned out fantastic.
we gotta get it on the dyno and see what it does, and be really cool if it picks up some power again.
Yeah,
That'd be crazy.
it feels good. So I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean,
You know, but I mean, a 10, 15 horsepower gain, like, that's not always that easy to feel on your butt. You know what I mean? So
it's not. You're not going to feel it in your butt, but if you can maintain the same power
Right.
for 30 minutes straight or whatever it might be,
right.
that's better than losing 20 or 30 from timing being pulled from the thing getting heat soaked. And
Exactly.
right now it's not getting heat soaked. I can't even believe it, honestly. It's like
Yeah.
mind blowing.
Yeah.
So, and there's only a handful of these out there right now. There's a handful of people modding them, but you don't need to mod them to do anything. You don't need to put a porta blower on it to do this. So if you're racing at the track, this is like, you know, basic 101.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really all around. You don't need to do anything else besides add cooling, which is going to benefit you regardless.
Yeah.
So if you pulley it up harder, if they ever come out with tuning, hopefully they do, you know, this stuff will be out ready to go for it. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
So there it is, folks. There it is.